Welcome to Wilderness Wednesday, kindergartners. We are going to finish talking about habitats and animal classifications today. I'm standing in our last habitat. Do you know what it is? It's a prairie. What is a prairie? Prairies are large areas that are covered mostly with grasses and grass-like plants. Sometimes they have flowering plants on them too. Some people also call prairies grasslands, savannas, or tundras. There's not very many trees in a prairie, and a prairie can be flat or it can have rolling land like this. Can you think of what type of animals might live here on a prairie? Here are a few.
A bison lives on the prairie. The bison is the heaviest land animal in North America. Grasshoppers live on the prairie. Grasshoppers are insects that can hop, walk, and fly. Red-tailed hawks live on the prairie, and they are birds of prey. We have bull snakes in Minnesota, and they live on the prairie. They are constrictors.
One type of animal that has great camouflage in a prairie is a snake. Did you know that we have 17 species or kinds of snake in Minnesota? Snakes are a type of reptile. To see and to learn more about reptiles, I headed to a special spot. So, we are at the Reptile and Amphibian Discovery Zoo, the RAD Zoo, to learn more about reptiles. Get excited!
So we are starting with the Florida red-bellied turtle and the Florida soft-shelled turtle. The red-bellied turtle has a high shell and it's thick, and it's believed that it's an adaptation to help them survive alligator attacks. The Florida soft-shelled turtle is the largest species of soft-shelled turtles in North America and has a long, snorkel-like nose. Then we have a tortoise. And the biggest difference between a turtle and a tortoise is that a tortoise lives on land and turtles live in the water some or nearly all of the time. This red-footed tortoise does not have any toes, even though they have 4 claws at the end of each leg. Check out this chameleon and how its eyes work. So each eye can rotate and focus separately, so they can see 2 different objects at the same time. They can see a full 360 degrees around them, completely around them. This is a boa constrictor. Boa constrictors get their name because of how they kill their prey. They constrict or squeeze their prey until they run out of air. Here is a picture of a constrictor showing you how tightly it can squeeze around a tree branch. This is a green basilisk lizard, and it's a pretty cool lizard because it has the amazing ability to run on water. Check those feet out. They are really important with helping them run on top of the water. This is a Chinese water dragon, and if it senses danger coming its way, it jumps into the water and stays underneath until they feel that they're safe again. Check out this snake. Does it have anything unique? Do you see the enlarged scales over their eyes that look like eyelashes? It's called an eyelash viper, and this is a venomous snake, which means that they bite their prey and inject venom into their bodies. This snake is called a coach whip, and it's the fastest snake in the United States. It can move 10 miles an hour. Look at the webbed feet on this false map turtle. Those feet form a paddle to help it swim. These are both the same kind of snakes, but they look a little bit different. They're both called black rat snakes, and they are the longest snakes in North America. Sometimes they can reach 8 feet long. When they're threatened, they'll rattle their tail, which fools animals into thinking they're venomous like the rattlesnake, but they are constrictors. One of them is very light because it's albino, which means it doesn't have the same skin pigment as the other one. Does this reptile look friendly to you? It's the smooth-fronted caiman, and it has its nose and its eyes on the top of its head, and that allows it to see and breathe while the whole rest of its body is completely underwater. You are looking at several flying snakes. They don't really fly though, they glide. They climb up trees, and then they fling themselves off a branch and sail through the air. Look at the teeth on this one. It's a desert crocodile. What's more dangerous to a human, do you think? A crocodile or an alligator? If you said crocodile, you are correct. Crocodiles are usually bad-tempered, which means crabby, and they'll attack just to attack. It doesn't have to be provoked. Listen carefully to this one. My shadow in there. Do you hear it? This is a rattlesnake. They have rattles at the end of their tail that are actually made of keratin, which is the same thing as your fingernail. And those segments are loosely fit together, and when they knock into each other, when the tail vibrates, it makes that rattle sound. They are venomous, which means if they bite you, they're going to inject poison into your body. See if you can notice the difference between this Madagascar giant day gecko and this Standings day gecko. Do you see one has a tail and one doesn't have a tail? Some geckos and lizards have a defense mechanism that allows them to drop their tail off of their body when they feel threatened. This distracts the predators so the gecko can run away, and then it grows a new one back in about 2 months or 60 days. Now this is a fat-tailed gecko, and it can lose its tail too, but it doesn't want to because it stores fat in its tail for energy when it can't find anything to eat. Here you will see the savanna monitor. Very few animals eat millipedes because they contain nasty poisons, but this savanna monitor has figured out that if it rubs its chin on the millipede for up to 15 minutes, the millipede will run out of poison, and then it can eat the millipede. Take a look at this iguana. It is called a rhinoceros iguana. It's not related to the rhinoceros, but I bet you can figure out how it got its name. Look at those bony plates on the top of its head. This is an alligator, and alligators have 2 sets of eyelids. The outer lid is like ours. They also have an inner eyelid that acts like swimming goggles, and it allows them to see underwater. Take a look. Did you see it? Let me put it in slow motion so you for sure can see how cool it is. You can also see it has webbed feet to help it swim. How cute are these tortoises eating their salad? One of these animals doesn't look like the other. Do you see the iguana eating too?
So we have seen a lot of reptiles today. We've seen alligators and crocodiles, turtles, snakes, so many great things. What about lizards? Lizards are pretty cool too. This is a bearded dragon lizard. Can you see his little beard? Actually, it's a her. Can you see her beard? When she's threatened, she'll puff out that beard so that she can look a little bit bigger to predators. Pretty cool. What do bearded lizards, snakes, turtles, alligators, crocodiles, what do they have all in common? Let's take a look.
Reptiles have scales. Reptiles are cold-blooded. Not like you, you're warm-blooded. Reptiles have babies in eggs most of the time. Reptiles have vertebrae, a backbone, just like you. Here's a snake's vertebrae, here is a turtle's vertebrae, and here is a lizard's vertebrae. Reptiles can and must breathe oxygen from air, just like you.
All right, kindergartners, I have my pile of stuffed animals, and I'm going to sort it reptiles and a pile of not reptiles over here. What do you think I'll have? I have some great reptiles to show you. I have a sea turtle, another turtle, a lizard, a turtle, another lizard, an alligator, and 2 snakes. So for Wilderness Wednesday today, I want you to hang out outdoors. Go find some reptiles. Can you find any turtles or snakes? Reptiles are a little trickier to find outside. So if you look around and you can't find any reptiles, I want you to make a reptile using nature loose parts. So nature loose parts would be sticks and leaves and rocks and things like that. Can you put those loose parts together to make a lizard or make a turtle or make a snake? Here are a couple of my ideas. I made 3 nature loose part reptiles. First, I made a sea turtle with samaras, which are maple seeds, dandelions, a leaf head with 2 little rock eyes. And then I made an alligator. For the alligator, I used mulch for the head part, 2 little green samara seeds for the eyes with some dirt. Then I sewed a few leaves together for the body and made some mulch legs. And then I found part of one of my plants for the tail. That is, oh, and I did add some little rock teeth. And lastly, I made a rock snake. So my snake is made of rocks. And then I found some great little flowers for the eyes and a forked tongue stick. I'm excited to see what you come up with. Don't forget to snap a picture of your nature reptile and send it to your teacher. Have fun looking for reptiles outside or collecting loose nature parts and making your own reptiles. Write about what you found or take a picture of the reptile creation that you made and send it to your teacher on Seesaw. Bye. See you later.